Magandang araw, BSA26. Ako si Elisha at welcome sa paborito ninyong larong hindi lang masaya, nakakatalino pa. Ito ang BSA26. Game ka na ba? Game na! Love it! Pero bago tayo magsimula, usap muna tayo sandali. Alam niyo ba na sa panahon ngayon na punong-puno ng uncertainty, disruption at complexity, isa sa pinaka-importanting bagay para maging successful ang isang organization ay effective internal control. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa compliance o pagsunod sa batas. It's about building trust, confidence, and reputation. Kasi kahit gaano pa ka-high-tech ang isang business, kung wala siyang proper control, pwedeng magka-problema. Siyempre, hindi lang ito trabaho ng top management. Tayo ring mga future CPAs, may malaking role dito. Lahat tayo, part ng system para maging maayos ang daloy ng negosyo. Ngayon, hindi na sapat na magaling ka lang sa numbers. Dapat marunong ka ng magbantay ng risk, mag-practice ng business ethics, tumulong sa goals ng kumpanya, financial man yan or non-financial. Gaya ng efforts nila sa climate action or human capital development. To explain the mechanics of the game, we will start with 8 players going through 2 rounds of eliminations to determine the 4 players na maglalaro sa ating pyramid round. Let's all welcome Chopper, Ali, JL, French, Darwin, Pizza, Ashley, LJ. This is the first round of eliminations. Isa-isa ko kayong tatanungin. Toffer, who first officially defined the international control in 1949? A. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. B. Committee of Sponsoring Organizations. Or C. American Institute of Accountants.
C. American Institute of Accountants.
Your answer is correct. Bakit yan ang sagot mo?
Kasi sila yung una nagbigay ng formal definition ng internal control noong 1949. Sabi ng American Institute of Accountants, internal control is not just one system, but a plan of organization and all the coordinated methods and measures are used within a business. Its purpose is to safeguard assets, check the accuracy and reliability of accounting data, promote operational efficiency, and encourage adherence to managerial policies.
That is correct. Moving on to the next question. Ali, para sa'yo to. The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act or FCPA was enacted in the year blank as a response to the corporate scandals in the 1970s.
1977.
Tama. What led to the enactment of the FCPA?
During the 1970s kasi, nagkaroon ng series ng corporate challenges. Noong 1977, nag-react ang US Securities and Exchange Commission at US Congress dahil sa mga corporate issues noon. Kaya pinasa nila yung FCPA para mas strengthen ang internal control and transparency ng mga businesses.
We're on a roll. Move on tayo sa'yo, JL. What is the group composed of 5 private sector organizations that developed the internal control framework under the Treadway Commission?
COSO or Committee of Sponsoring Organization.
Oh. Ano muna yung 5 private sector organizations na nag-develop sa framework na ito?
The American Accounting Association, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, Financial Executive International, the Institute of Internal Auditors, and the National Association of Accountants, or also known as the Institute of Management Accountants today. They were tasked to create a comprehensive framework on internal control. In the end, naglabas sila ng guidance para sa designing, implementing, at evaluating internal control system. Kaya ang COSO framework ngayon ang global standard for internal control.
Your answer is correct. Masyadong ginagalingan ng ating players ha. So far, napakaganda ng laban. Friends, you're next. Ano ang 3 categories of objectives covered by internal control according to the COSO framework? A. Planning, execution, feedback. B. Operational, compliance, reporting. C. Asset, liability, equity.
B. Operational compliance and reporting.
Operational, compliance, reporting is Correct! Now, explain mo nga sa amin bakit yan ang tamang sagot.
Ayon sa COSO, ang internal control ay designed para tumulong sa pag-achieve ng objectives ng isang entity. At may tatlong klase ng objectives na tinutukoy. Una is operations objectives. Ito ay para sa effectiveness and efficiency ng operations. Kasama dyan ang performance goals at pag-safeguard ng assets. Pangalawa ay yung reporting objectives. Ito naman ay para sa reliability and timeliness ng financial and non-financial reports. And pangatlo is yung compliance objectives. Ito ay para matiyak na sumusunod ang entity sa applicable laws and regulation. So, COSO framework makes it clear that internal control isn't just about numbers. It helps organization operate efficiently, produce reliable reports, and comply with the law. So, these categories often overlap, pero lahat sila ay critical sa strategy and sustainability ng negosyo.
Moving on, Lisa. True or false? Internal control is a one-time process or checklist done periodically.
True.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Ang tamang sagot ay false. Hindi ito one-time or occasional activity. Ayon sa COSO, internal control is a process, meaning it's continuous, dynamic, and built into the day-to-day activities of an organization. Hindi siya simpleng checklist lang na sinusunod quarterly or during audits. Instead, it's part of the way the business is run from top-level decision-making all the way to operational tasks. Every activity, transaction, and decision contributes to internal control. So kung ang mindset mo ay, tapos na to, done na tayo, then that's not internal control. Kasi this is a process, is iterative, and involving along with the risk and strategies of the entity.
Gets ko na. Internal control pala is always ongoing. Dapat integrated sa daily operation, hindi lang sa pang-audit.
Exactly. It's a means to an end, not the end itself. Moving on sa'yo, Darvin. Who is responsible for effective internal control in an organization?
It is the board of directors, management, and other personnel.
Your answer is? Tama. Paki-explain kung bakit sila ang responsible.
According to the COSO framework, internal control is affected by people, specifically the board of directors, management, and the rest of the personnel in the organization. Hindi ito purely about systems or documents. People are the ones who set objectives, make decisions, and perform actions that implement and maintain internal control. It's their responsibility to make sure controls are working and aligned with the organization's goals.
Perfect. COSO makes it very clear internal control is not something that just lives in a manual or a system. It comes to life through people. Whether you're in a leadership role or part of daily operations, your actions matter. Everyone plays a role in ensuring that the organization is effective, compliant, and trustworthy. That's why internal control is embedded in what people do and how they do it. It's not just about rules, it's about behavior, decisions, and accountability at every level.
Exactly po. It is a shared responsibility. Everyone has a part.
Tama. Ang internal control ay ginagawa ng tao para sa tao at para sa mas maayos na organisasyon. Dito naman tayo sa ating last two players. Ready ka na ba, Ashley?
Ready na po!
True or false? Internal control provides absolute assurance that all risk will be eliminated.
False.
Correct. Pwede mo bang i-explain?
Ako sa framework, ang term na ginagamit ay reasonable assurance, hindi absolute assurance. Kasi kahit gaano kaayos ang internal control system, meron pa ring limitations. May mga bagay tulad ng human error, bad judgment, or external events na beyond anyone's control. Kaya ang internal control ay designed to reduce risk to an acceptable level, pero hindi ito kayang i-eliminate lahat ng uncertainties 100%.
Very well explained. Tama yan. Reasonable assurance means management and the board can be confident that objectives are likely to be met, but not guaranteed. Internal control helps manage risk, not eliminate them completely. Kaya nga kahit may control, dapat laging may monitoring and review. At para sa panghuling tanong ng round na ito, LJ, ready ka na ba?
Game na po.
Internal control is adaptable depending on A. The size of the board of directors, B. The design of the external auditor's work, or C. The entity's structure, operations, and management decisions.
Letter C. The entity structure, operation, and management decisions.
Okay, tingnan natin ang answer mo. Ang answer mo ay... Tama. Explain mo nga kung bakit.
Ayon sa COSO, internal control is adaptable to the structure and needs of an organization. Ibig sabihin, pwede itong i-apply sa buong company, sa isang specific division o kahit sa isang business process lang. Management can design control based on the organizational structure, the operating model, or even legal and regulatory requirements. Flexible siya para makafit sa iba't ibang content, hindi fixed or one-size-fits-all.
Exactly. That's what makes internal control powerful. It adjusts to real-life complexity of organization. Pwede itong i-customize whether you're handling a small business unit or a multinational company. Kaya adaptable and scalable siya. Grabe, ang gagaling ng mga players natin. Mula definition hanggang application na ipakita niyong may sense, depth, at understanding kayo ng internal control. Susunod naman ang second round of elimination sa pagbabalik ng BSA 26. Game ka na ba?
Ali, quick question lang. Kanina sa lecture may binanggit si Sir na Turnbull Report. Parang science fiction, no? Ano ba yun?
Hindi yan pelikula, French. Turnbull Report is all about internal control sa UK. Para to sa mga company directors para ma-check kung maayos ba ang control system nila.
So parang guidebook?
Oo, pero legit na gawa ng Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. Sinasabi nito na dapat may sound system of internal control to protect asset at investment ng mga shareholders.
So it's not just about numbers pala.
Exactly. It includes policies, processes, behaviors, lahat ng kailangan para ma-operate effectively, manage risk, at ensure compliance sa law and internal policies.
Grabe, so parang health check ng company systems pala to.
Tumpak! In fact, under Provision D2.1, dapat every year nire-review ng board yung effectiveness ng internal control, then i-report nila sa shareholders. Transparent dapat.
Paano kung wala silang internal audit?
Provision D2.2 covers that. Dapat iniisip pa rin nila kung kailangan nila ng internal audit function kahit wala pa.
Okay, noted. Magagawa ko na rin ang assignment natin. Thank you, Ali.
No worries.
Turnbull Report. Strengthen controls, build confidence, lead responsibly.
Kapag may bagyo, ang tanong lagi, handa ba tayo? May bubong ba na tumatagas? Nakabackup ba ang kuryente? Ganon din sa negosyo. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa products o profit, kundi sa paghahanda laban sa mga risk o panganib. Dito pumapasok ang internal control. Effective internal control gives us confidence na maabot natin ang ating goals mula operations, reporting, hanggang compliance. It helps us make smarter decisions, process transactions faster, at magbigay ng tamang impormasyon sa tamang tao sa tamang oras. Kaya rin, mas confident tayong mag-report sa ating mga investors, creditors, at partners. Pero tandaan, may cost rin ng control. Hindi lahat ng system ay mura. Hindi lahat ng tao ay madaling hanapin. Kaya kailangan, balance lang. Dapat timbangin. Worth it ba yung gastos sa technology, sa additional staff, o sa data handling? Kung ang control ay para sa pinakamalaking risk at kaya nitong maiwasan ang malaking loss, then it's worth it. Hindi mo kailangan ng bagyo para maganda. Sa negosyo, internal control ang sandata mo para sa kapayapaan ngayon at tagumpay bukas.
Welcome back mga CPA sa paborito ninyong game show ang SA26, game ka na ba? Tapos na ang first round of eliminations. In our second round of eliminations, 4 na lang ang matitirang players natin. This time, paunahan na kayong sasagot. For our first question, alin sa mga sumusunod ang tumutukoy sa limitation ng internal control na nangyayari kapag ang decisions ay kailangan gawin sa ilalim ng time pressure, kulang na impormasyon at minsan ay nagiging mali kapag tinitignan na lang sa bandang huli? A. Management override, B. Judgment, or C. Collusion? Yes, Ali?
Ang pipiliin ko po ay B, judgment.
Why do you think so?
Kasi po, yung description sa tanong ay tumutukoy sa mga sitwasyon kung saan kailangan gumawa ng desisyon kahit stressful, kulang sa info, o mabilisang isip lang. Kahit maayos ang internal control system, minsan nagkakamali pa rin ang tao. Ang tawag doon ay isang limitation. Kasi tao lang din tayo, hindi laging perfect ang decision making.
Okay, let's see. Your answer is correct. B. Judgment. Kasi nga, kahit gaano kaayos ang system, kapag decision-making na ang usapan, may limitation pa rin dahil sa human judgment. Pwede itong maapektuhan ng pressure, incomplete info, o minsan dahil sa human error lang. Pasukan na sa players na maglalaro sa pyramid round. 3 more spots to go. For our next question, true or false? Kahit ang isang mahusay na control system ay pwedeng bumagsak kapag ang isang empleyado ay distracted o hindi sanay sa bagong system. Your answer, French?
True.
Explain mo, French.
Tama po, true. Kasi ang tinutukoy dito ay breakdown sa nangyayari kahit okay ang design ng control. So, pwedeng may misunderstanding o kulang sa training, lalo na kung may bagong technology. Tao pa rin nagpapatakbo ng negosyo, so may room for error.
Let's see ha, kung tama ang sagot mo. Correct ka dyan. Kahit gaano kaganda ang system, kung ang gumagamit ay stressed or untrained, pwede pa rin magka-error. Moving on to the next question. Ang blank ay isang limitasyon kung saan ang manager ay sadyang nilalampasan ang mga patakaran para sa sariling interes o para magmukhang maayos ang performance ng kumpanya. Yes, Darwin?
Management override.
Why do you think so, Darwin?
Ito po ay management override at nangyayari ito kapag sinadya ng manager na lampasan ng internal policies. Usually para mag-report ng mga mas magandang kita o ma-meet yung bonus targets. Hindi ito transparent at kadalasan tinatago yung mga actions.
Let's see, ang iyong sagot, Darwin, ay tama. Pasok ka na sa next round. That is a textbook case of management override. And for our last question, for the last spot, alin sa mga sumusunod na limitation ng internal control ang nangyayari kapag may sabwatan o kasunduan sa pagitan ng dalawa o higit pang tao para takasan o lampasan ang mga kontrol ng sistema? A. Breakdowns, B. Management override, or C. Collusion? Yes, LJ?
C, collusion.
Why is that?
Kasi po, yung description sa tanong ay tumutukoy sa mga pagkakataon na may dalawang tao or higit pa na nagtutulungan para i-bypass ang internal control. Halimbawa, pwedeng magkausap ang employee at supplier para mag-falsify ng transaction. Yun ang collusion. Kahit gaano kaayos ang internal control, mahirap i-detect kung may sabwatan.
Okay, let's see. LJ, your answer is correct. Collusion is a serious internal control limitation. Dahil kapag may sabwatan, halos invisible ang lahat ng violations. Hindi ito madaling ma-detect kahit sa strongest control systems. At dahil dyan, tuloy ka na rin sa next round. Quick pit stop tayo sa main game. Pero hindi ito simpleng break. Kasi ito ang audit control sprint. Players, ready na ba kayo? So, for our first question, ang unang classification natin is mandatory versus voluntary controls. When we say mandatory controls, ito ay non-negotiable. Kailangan natin siyang i-apply sa kahit anong situation. Kadalasan, para maiwas ang paglabag sa batas, company policy, o health and safety risk. When we say voluntary controls naman, ito ay nakabase sa judgment ng management kung kailan siya gagamitin. For our first question, this type of control is applied depending on the organization's or manager's judgment instead of being enforced in all circumstances. Ano ito? Yes, French.
Voluntary control?
That's correct. Voluntary control depends on managerial judgment, meaning kung sa tingin ng management na kailangan siya, saka lang ito na i-apply. For our next classification, discretionary versus non-discretionary controls. When we say discretionary controls, this gives managers flexibility. Pwede nilang i-adjust based sa interpretation nila ng risk. Non-discretionary controls naman ay fixed, walang adjustment. Dapat ito agad ang masusunod exactly. For our question number 2, controls that allow managers to decide based on their interpretation of risk in a given situation. Ano ito? Yes, Ali.
Discretionary control.
Correct. Discretionary controls let management weigh the situation before applying the control. For our third classification, we have manual versus automated controls. When we say manual, tao mismo ang gumagana o nagpapagawa. Next is automated, which naka-program na sa system at halos automatic lahat ng execution. Meron din tayong tinatawag na hybrid. Halimbawa, kapag may automated credit approval system, pero may middle range na pwedeng i-override ng manager. For our third question, an ERP system that automatically approves credit sales above a set rating, anong klaseng control yan? Yes, LJ?
Automated control.
Let's see kung tama yung sagot mo. Correct. Automated controls work through program systems with minimal human intervention. And lastly, for this round, ang ating fourth classification, general versus application controls. When we say general controls, ito ay para sa reliability ng buong IT system. Para sigurado tayong gumagana ito as intended. For application controls naman, ito ay program procedures sa mismong software para siguraduhin na mula input hanggang output ay tama, kompleto ang data. For our question 4, controls embedded in accounting software to verify completeness and accuracy of transaction data, anong klaseng control ito? Yes, Darwin?
Application control.
Let's see. Correct, it's application control. Application controls work at the software level to ensure data integrity from start to finish. And that's the technical edition of Audit Control Sprint. Tabla-tabla pa rin. That means mas lalong magiging heated ang susunod nating round. Alright mga players, welcome sa ating pyramid round. Ang mechanics ay simple lang. Bawat tama niyong sagot, aakyat kayo ng isang hakbang papunta sa tuktok ng pyramid. Pero bago nyo i-lock in ang sagot, may chance kayong magpaliwanag para masubok hindi lamang ang bilis, kundi pati ang lalim ng inyong kaalaman. Let's start off sa topic na nature of internal controls. For our first question, the segregation of duties, alin ang tamang example? A. Same person ang nagbubukas ng mail at nagre-record ng cash. B. Different persons ang nagbubukas ng mail at nagre-record ng cash. Or C. Iisa ang CEO at chairman ng isang kumpanya. Yes, Ali?
Letter B. Para may internal check, hindi dapat iisang tao ang gumagawa ng recording at handling ng cash.
C. Tama! In segregation of duties, nare-reduce nito ang risk of fraud or error kasi no single person controls all steps. Next, for our next question, true or false? Physical controls ay limitado lang sa pag-lock ng pinto at paggamit ng swipe card. Yes, LJ?
False. Kasama rin ng mga securing of asset, equipment, safeguard, at controlled access sa inventory.
Let's see, your answer is correct. physical controls cover all measures to physically secure assets from theft or damage. Ngayon, for our next question, anong klase ng control ang tumutukoy sa paggamit ng variance analysis at performance monitoring ng subordinates? Yes, French?
Management controls. Dito may na-monitor ng managers kung alin ang actual results sa goals.
Yes, management controls is correct. This ensures operations stay on track and corrective actions are taken when needed. Next question is, alin sa mga ito ang halimbawa ng authorization and approval controls? A. Reference check ng bagong empleyado. B. Pag-aproba ng mas mataas na official na ticket purchase na higit sa 5,000 pesos. Or C. Pag-fix ng equipment sa sahig or sa dingding para hindi ito manakaw. Yes, Darvin?
Letter B. May authority limit at kailangan ng approval bago mag-commit ng resources.
Let's see. Exactly. Authorization and approval controls prevent unauthorized or excessive transactions. For the next question, true or false? Arithmetical and accounting controls ay para lang sa bank reconciliation. Yes, Ali?
False. Kasama rin ang trial balances, control totals, at cross-footing checks.
Let's see your answer. Correct. Arithmetical and accounting controls ensure accuracy sa lahat ng accounting records and processes. For our next question, anong klase ng control ang kabilang ang verification of qualifications at evaluation of training effectiveness? Yes, LJ?
Personal or human resource controls. Sila yung tumitiyak na competent and trustworthy ang employees.
Let's see your answer. Yes, or human resources controls maintain integrity and capability within the workforce. Malalaman natin kung sino ang player ba ang magwawagi at ang ating ilalaban sa million peso question sa pagbabalik ng BSA 26. Game ka na ba?
Every decision we make, every goal we reach, start with one thing: a strong control environment.
It's not just about policies or procedures. It's about the tone we set from the top. Integrity, ethical values, and a culture that inspires everyone to do the right thing.
Our board and senior management lead with transparency and accountability, ensuring every role has clear authority, responsibility, and the skill to achieve our objectives.
From the way we structure our teams to how we train, develop, and reward our people, everything is designed to protect our values and meet our goals.
We believe in competence, commitment, and the courage to act, even in the face of challenges.
Because when people know they're supported, guided, and accountable, they perform at their best.
A strong foundation,
A stronger future.
Alam mo ba, in business, walang guarantee na laging smooth sailing. Every company, maliit man o malaki, ay mayroong risk. Risk is the possibility na mayroong mangyaring event na makakaapekto sa pag-achieve ng goals mo. Kaya mahalaga ang risk assessment, isang dynamic at tuloy-tuloy na process ng pag-identify, pag-analyze at pag-prioritize ng risk para alam mo kung paano sila i-manage.
Exactly. Hindi natin maalis ang risk 100%. Kasi the moment you decide to be in business, may risk na. Ang role ng management at board ay mag-decide. Gaano karaming risk ang kaya nating i-accept, paano natin ito ipamanage para safe tayo. Dito pumapasok ang setting objectives, clear, future-focused at achievable goals ang kailangan from high-level entity objectives down to specific activity objectives. Dapat aligned ito sa strategic priorities, compliance sa laws and regulations, at may malinaw na risk tolerance.
At alam nyo ba, may tatlong main categories ang objective. First, operation objectives, para sa mission, vision, efficiency, at safekeeping ng resources. Second, reporting objective, para sa accuracy at timeliness ng financial at non-financial reporting, both internal and external. And lastly, compliance objective, para siguradong sumusunod sa batas, regulation, taxes, at iba pa.
And once objectives are set, next step is risk identification and assessment. Dito tinitignan ang internal and external risk gamit ang iba't ibang methods gaya ng inputs mula sa auditors, industry analysis, management meetings at economic reviews. Tinitignan ang factors tulad ng past failures, personnel quality, market changes at legislative shifts.
Importante ring i-assess ang severity, velocity at persistence ng risk, pati ang impact nito sa operations, reporting at compliance. Kaya dapat may consultation sa buong company para malaman kung lahat ng significant risk ay na-identify at kung effective ba ang control strategies. Kasama rin dito ang pag-prioritize ng risk at kung pwede, paglagay ng quantitative measurement.
And remember, risk analysis can vary. Minsan formal, minsan simple. Pero lagi itong may dalawang tanong. Ano ang chance na mangyari ito? At gaano kalaki ang magiging impact? Then, react. Gaya ng paghahanap ng alternative suppliers, pag-improve ng training programs, o pagkuha ng mas relevant reports.
Hindi lang yon, kailangan din natin maging alert sa changes tulad ng bagong operating conditions, bagong key personnel, high turnover, new systems, rapid growth, unfamiliar products, restructuring o overseas expansion. Lahat ng ito pwedeng magdala ng panibagong risk.
That's why we need forward-looking, early warning systems para makita agad ang mga signals ng bagong risk at maagapan ito.
The business, risks will always be there. Pero with proper risk assessment and clear objective, masanda ka sa kung anumang hamon.
Hello mga ka-office! Alam niyo ba sa negosyo, hindi dapat puro work. Dapat marunong ka mag-prioritize ng risk para safe ang company goals.
May dalawang main criteria para dyan. Una is impact. Gaano kalaki yung magiging damage kung mangyari at pangalawa is likelihood. Gaano kataas yung chance na mangyari.
Impact? Hindi lang financial impact ang pinag-uusapan dito. Kasama dito yung ability ng company na ma-achieve ang kanilang objectives.
Likelihood, ibig sabihin gaano kadalas o ka-probable na mangyayari ang risk na yan.
Ngayon, kung mahina o wala kang controls, papasok ka sa apat na risk categories. Una is yung high impact and high likelihood. Dito, kailangan ma-actionan natin siya agad. Yung pangalawa naman is high impact pero low likelihood. Dito, kailangan lang naman natin mag-prepare ng plan B. Yung pangatlo is low impact tapos high likelihood. Dito, kailangan na ma-manage pa rin natin siya kasi nga, kahit na low impact siya, madalas or mas probable siya mangyari. At yung pang-apat is low impact and low likelihood. Dito, okay lang na hindi natin siya masyadong aksyonan. Dapat lang natin siyang minomonitor.
But, wait! Mga ka-office, hindi dapat dito natatapos ang kwento.
Once na na-identify na ang risk, the board chooses the control strategy. Accept, transfer, eliminate, control, share, or ensure.
Accept, walang gagawin. Transfer, ipasa sa ibang party. Eliminate, tanggalin yung cost. Control, dagdag operational checks. Share, hati ang responsibility. And ensure, magbayad para may coverage.
Remember, risk management is a shared responsibility. Hindi lang ito trabaho ng isang tao or ng isang department.
Kahit may control, may residual risk pa rin. Residual risk, yun yung risk na hindi mawawala kahit anong gawin mo.
Kaya mga ka-office, dapat merong itong key risk indicators at early warning signs para ma-actionan agad at hindi maging disaster.
Welcome back sa BSA 26. Game ka na ba? So, control activities are the built-in actions sa policies at procedures para masiguro na i-execute ang management directives at na-address ang risks sa objectives. They happen at all levels, entity, process, and technology, and can be preventive or detective, manual, or automated. Examples: top-level and functional reviews, ACV checks for accuracy, completeness, validity, physical safeguards, performance analytics, at segregations of duties or compensating controls kapag hindi practical ang perfect segregation. Kasama rin dito ang IRA controls, general controls for system reliability, at application controls para sa transaction integrity. At syempre, dapat naka-align lahat sa risk response ng management whether i-accept, transfer, eliminate, control, share, o ensure. Depende sa appetite at target residual risk. Now, for this question, which control activity best fits this scenario? The executive team reviews monthly actual versus budget, tracks major initiatives, process improvements and cost reduction, and issues follow-up action based on variances. A. Top-level review. B. Application control. C. Physical control. Yes, Ali?
A. Top-level review.
Locking in A. Bakit?
Top-level review to kasi nakafocus sa entity-level analytics, variance analysis across budget, forecast, at competitor benchmark. Detective control siya by design. Inahanap ang deviation, then may management flow-up para i-correct. Hindi ito application control kasi hindi siya transactional level program check. Hindi rin siya physical control dahil walang asset safeguarding element tulad ng locks or restricted access.
Okay, let's see. Perfect! At idagdag ko lang, ang ganitong reviews ay control activities na tumutulong sa operations, supporting and compliance objectives kapag may policy gaps na lumalabas. For our next question, fill in the blanks. In information processing, controls check for A blank, C blank, and V blank. Yes, LJ?
Accuracy, completeness, and validity.
Ang sagot niya, accuracy, completeness, and validity. Why these three?
Accuracy means tama ang amounts, accounts, timing, also quality sa operational context. Completeness naman means lahat ng valid transaction na nangyari ay na-record. Validity means yung recorded transactions are real economic events na authorized per policy. Usually, nakukuha to via exemption report, edit check, authorization workflow, at reconciliation. Preventive and detective mix yung halimbawa. Input validation sa preventive at exception review sa detective.
Okay. Solid. That's the ACV triad core sa information processing objective. For our next question, imagine, small entity kayo, kaka-implement lang ng bagong system. limited staff kaya hindi perfect ang segregation of duties. Gusto niyong i-manage ang risks sa operations, financial reporting, at compliance. Which package is the best control setup? A. Rely on trust plus annual physical inventory count only. B. Owner or CEO independent reviews ng bank reconciliation at exemption reports plus IT general controls plus application controls. Or C. Remove approvals to speed up processes. Yes, Ali?
B. Kasi holistic at risk aligned.
Why do you think it's B?
Since hindi feasible ang full segregation of duties, kailangan ng compensating control kaya independent review ng owner or CEO. Next, dahil critical ang technical environment, dapat may IT general control for system reliability, backup and recovery, security and contingency. Finally, kailangan ng application control para sa ACV at transactional integrity, input validation, processing checks, output reconciliation. Ito ang aligned sa risk response, equal control, at natatarget ng acceptable residual risk across operation, reporting, and compliance.
Your answer is spot on! A is weak, walang information processing controls at kulang sa detective coverage. C naman undermines authorization at approval. Mag-i-spike ang validity risk. B ang tama kasi it blends entity level at transaction level controls, both general at application plus compensating oversight. Congratulations, Player Ali! Ikaw ang may chance maglaro sa ating final round. Control activities are not random. They must be directly tied to risk responses at gumagana across all levels, mula policy to process hanggang technology. We mix preventive controls and detective controls gaya ng reviews, reconciliations, ACV checks, physical safeguards, performance analytics, at of course, segregation of duties. Kung hindi pwede ang segregation, we apply compensating controls para hindi mahina ang system. Sa IT side naman, dapat mag-combine tayo ng general controls para sa system reliability at application controls para sa transaction integrity. At tandaan, ang ultimate goal is to carry out our management directives, address risk effectively, panatilihin ang residual risk within our own appetite para ma-achieve ang objectives ng consistent, reliable at walang supply. Pero bago natin alamin ang katanungan para sa 1 million peso round, pakinggan muna natin ang munting paalala ng ating sponsors when it comes to information and communication.
Sa negosyo o sa buhay, isang maling impormasyon ay pwedeng magdulot ng maling desisyon. Kaya mahalaga ang isang malinaw, tama at napapanahong impormasyon lalo na kung ang future mo ang nakataya. Sa Life Secure Insurance, sinisigurado naming lahat ng impormasyon mo ay accessible, correct, current at protected. Para sa iyo, walang kulang, walang sobra. Saktong detalye lang para makagawa ka ng tamang hakbang. Dahil sa tamang impormasyon, may tamang proteksyon. At sa tamang proteksyon, may kapanatagan. Life Secure Insurance, your future, our priority.
Sa isang organization, communication isn't just about sending information. It's about making sure na it's received clearly and on time, pataas, baba, at across the organization.
Sa ating next project, ang unang step
Next step is mag-staring contest.
Kung mabagal or putol-putol ang daloy na impormasyon, parang slow wifi, nawawala ang context, nagkakaroon ng misinterpretation, at naapektuhan ang decision making.
That's why we need to adjust budget.
Budget? Akala ko magician.
Effective communication means walang lag sa pag-share ng objectives at updates, at lagi may fallback para maiwasan ang misunderstanding. With ultra-clear Wi-Fi plan, siguradong malinaw ang boses, malinaw ang direksyon.
Welcome back sa BSA 26. Game ka na ba? Game na! Para sa ating last round for the 1 million peso question. May 5 core categories na pagpipilian ng ating player. Kung ano ang mapili mo, ay yun ang paggagalingan ng question na itatanong ko sa iyo. Mayroon kang 60 seconds para pag-isipan ang iyong sagot bago mo ito i-finalize. Ano ang pipiliin mo sa 5 category? Purpose and nature of monitoring, types of evaluations, who conducts the evaluation, documentation, or reporting deficiencies.
Documentation po.
Documentation it is. Pero bago tayo mag-focus sa chosen category, let's view the other topics na hindi napili ni Player Ali. So for purpose and nature of monitoring, monitoring ensures na ang internal control system ng kumpanya ay effective over time. It systematically assesses both design at operating effectiveness ng controls, paano kabilis ma-recognize at ma-address ang deficiencies. For types of evaluation, may ongoing evaluation kung saan ang valuation ay integrated sa daily operations at nagbibigay ng real-time feedback. Habang ang separate evaluations naman ay more formal, periodic at mas malalim ang ine-evaluate. Kapag pinagsama, nagbibigay ito ng balance, assurance sa control system. Who conducts the evaluation? Kasama dito ang management, line supervisors, internal auditors, external auditors, at self-assessment. Iba-iba ang perspective na dinadala nila, pero lahat ay critical sa paghahanap ng weaknesses at improvements. And lastly, for the last topic, reporting deficiencies. Kapag may control weakness, dapat i-report sa tamang management level na may authority to act. May escalation protocols para sa material deficiencies, lalo na kung pwedeng makaapekto sa financial reporting or compliance. Ngayon, for our chosen category, documentation. True or false, an adequately documented internal control system can improve both employee understanding of processes and the efficiency of evaluations. You have 60 seconds to think about your answer, starting now.
True po.
Is that your final answer? Marami ka pang oras para mag-isip.
Final answer na po.
Well, kapag ang control system ay documented ng maayos, nagbibigay ito ng reference guide, nakakatulong sa training, at nagpapabilis ng pag-check kung effective ang controls. So, ang sagot ay true! Congratulations, Ali! Ikaw ang mag-uuwi ng 1 million peso. Ngayon, kayo naman. Kaya nyo ba masagutan ang mga ito for a chance to win a brand new Toyota Race?